All right, welcome back into the Aces Loaded podcast. Today's guest is a newcomer. Ryan Bliss joins the pod. Thanks for joining.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you, man. It's been fun so far.
You were born in Burbank, California, right? But you grew up in Georgia?
Yeah, so I was just born in Burbank, California. I moved back to the South when I was 1. Moved to Mississippi, and then in 5th grade moved to Georgia. So I called Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia home.
What was your athletic career growing up? What was that like? Is it a bunch of different sports, baseball the whole way through?
For the most part, I played a lot of sports, but the main sports obviously was baseball. I played that since I was 3. I played all the other sports, basketball, football. I really started specializing and just doing baseball only in high school. I played basketball my freshman year of high school, and then after that gave it up and just continued playing baseball.
Were you good at basketball?
I started. Our team wasn't that good, so I don't know if I was good too, but I did start, so I had that on my back.
People don't know freshman basketball in high school is kind of an interesting setup, right? I mean, it's a lot of kids that will not go on to play JV or even varsity. So it's an interesting disparity of talent, I think.
It is, yeah. You got a bunch of kids who just say, right, they've been doing this, I just want to go do it. And then maybe one of those guys ends up going to the high school team. So, it's an interesting dynamic.
I'm speaking from personal experience. Is there a moment in your high school baseball career, maybe even earlier in middle school, that you kind of realized that you had a chance to play professionally?
Yeah, I would say probably I was, how old was I? I was 14 or 15. I can't remember the year, but I was playing travel ball with East Cobb Astros, and I had a really good game, and a bunch of college scouts were there, and next thing you know, that's when my offers started rolling in. I was like, okay, this is something that I could want to do maybe, past high school and past college. And I think that around 14, 15 is when I really wanted, I want to pursue this as my career.
Was it always going to be Auburn? Were there other schools in the mix? Or what was that like picking a school?
Yeah, Auburn came at the later end of my recruiting process. I was actually one day away from committing to the University of Georgia, and Auburn University came, and they had just got a new coaching staff, Butch Thompson, and that at that time it was Brad Bohannon was the recruiting coordinator, and I lived 45 minutes away from Auburn, so I was one day away from committing from Georgia, so I decided to just go see Auburn. I was a couple exits down, so I was like, let's just go see it. Next thing you know, I fell in love with the campus, with the coaching staff, and the atmosphere and the culture, and next thing you know, I'm Auburn Tiger.
Wow, that's incredible. So one day away from committing, meaning you had your mind made up, right?
I had my mind made up, yeah. University of Georgia, I actually, I was about to head up there and do it, and then Auburn called, and, I told my dad, hey, we're 45 minutes away. I think it was a big football game, too, that was going on, too. So I was like, let's go watch a football game and just see. You just see it. We've been hearing about Auburn because we're so close, and they got me. They got me pretty good, and it's been the best decision of my life to go to Auburn. I loved it.
That's incredible. I'm trying to think. So football days when you were there, I think Bo Nix was there, right? Yep. How was the football team? You guys had one good year, right, when you were there?
We had one good year. 2019 was actually really good. We went to, I forgot what bowl. It was a pretty big bowl game, but college football game days at Auburn are unmatched, as you can imagine. The Iron Bowl was that year in 2019, and you can't drive on campus, and you got to get all your stuff in the grocery store before the weekend gets there because it's going to be packed, and it was fun. The fall was fun.
SEC baseball can get crazy too. What was your experience like playing in the SEC? I know there's one thing, talking to a lot of you guys, that atmosphere was like a constant, that it was incredible everywhere you went.
Yeah, honestly, the SEC atmosphere is close to none. I mean, we play in more hostile environments, better atmospheres than sometimes in the minor leagues, and
I think you could argue
more than most times when I think about it. And I think that honestly just tells you how good and strong the SEC is, and how much it prepares you for atmospheres like this. I actually played in Round Rock in 2020. We had a little classic, so I played in places like this, because of Auburn, and just little stuff like that. The experience you get from being in SEC, going to playing in front of 15,000 people, and going to the box at LSU and playing against hostile environments just only makes you better.
Add some context. We are in Round Rock right now. So you made some strides, obviously, from last year to the first half of this year. Just adjustments, if any, that you made from last year to this.
Yeah, last year, I kind of got ahead of myself. Wasn't really being myself. Wanted to do too much. And I think the biggest thing from last year to this year, I just want to tell myself, hey, be where your feet are, and just get better, be developing, and try to win ball games. And I think that helped me early and later on last year and specifically this year, early this season. So that's just the thing I want to continue here with the Reno Aces up in AAA, and just want to win for the team and just be better and be where your feet are at all times.
You know, it's interesting too because I think fans look for like a big adjustment that a player could make or like the turning point. But, I mean, you were always a good player. It was just about probably getting back to your original self, right?
Literally, that's it. I mean, a lot of people think when you go from bad to back to good that you change your whole demeanor or change your whole, like, no. Like, if anything, my swing is still the same and my approach is still the same. I just trusted it. I'm holding down on it. I'm just going back to what worked before, and that's pretty much with everybody. Like, you think people make these big swing changes? Not really. It's the same swing essentially. They're going back and trusting their training of what they've been doing, and I think that's been the biggest thing for me.
Except Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves, he makes massive changes every year. Yeah, no. So I mean, that's also it. Like the day-to-day grind of baseball. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have good days. How do you kind of keep a, I guess, level head throughout?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just knowing that this game is the game of baseball. You look up and you fill 7 times, and those are the best hitters in the game. And I think once you really understand how hard this game is and accept the failure, and don't make this game your identity, just play out there and play that and play ball. Because remember why you're playing it. I think it's the biggest thing. We all started playing this game because it's fun, and I think once you start taking it back that role and thinking about that, it makes the game a little bit easier.
Outside of baseball, what do you like to do?
I'm a big soccer fan. So Premier League is coming back. It's coming up really soon. I love watching soccer. I love playing FIFA, and I think that watching soccer and paying attention to that kind of gets my mind off the game of baseball a lot. So usually in my off time, I'm learning new formations or trying to learn new players that are in a transfer fee right now.
Messi's into the States now.
Yeah, he's in the States. I'm eager to see how he does with Inter Miami. We'll see. People say the MLS is getting better right now, so he may not have as easy as a chance, but I think he runs to the MLS.
I was gonna say I would think he would dominate. So you've never been to Reno, right? Never been to Reno. You've never been to Tahoe either. So I mean, I'm not gonna give you the whole spiel because I've been giving it a ton, but it's an incredible place. So are you gonna try to get out there, do any of that?
100%. Yeah, I've heard of Tahoe a lot. One of my good friends, he keeps telling me you need to go to Tahoe. You need to go to Tahoe. So I gotta go. I guess I gotta go to Tahoe. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go, and probably one of these off days, and I'll come back and tell you how it is.
Where do you live? Yeah, absolutely. Where do you live in the off season?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now. Actually, Alpharetta, Georgia. I've been there ever since my off season. Ever since I started professional ball in the off season for right now. So I go back to South and go back home to Georgia.
All right. Hopefully we can send you off at the end of the season with maybe a playoff run. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Always going home with a playoff would be good.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Kevin.